So first of all, I burnt my head on Monday, so I've got a cap on. Sorry about that. This is the north end of the Waterloo Bridge at Strand. So the police have been in action today with the Section 14 rule that they've authorised, which is the major disruption in London, get them off our bridges sort of thing. And that's obviously cleared the top end of Waterloo Bridge. But I'm seeing in the distance, you probably can't see it yet, but we'll walk down there. There is stuff going on down here. So let's see what that's all about. Yeah, the bridge is clearly closed from the other end, from the south end by the look of it, so they're still in action. The police, I guess, must have cleared one end first and then they're going to be clearing the other end now, so we might get to see some of that, I suppose. Not that we're here to be voyeuristic, I just want to keep an account of what's happening today. But this is Wednesday afternoon, and so Extinction Rebellion have been in London occupying the major 4 or 5 areas that they plan to occupy for since Monday morning, very successfully. It has caused disruption. They don't want to cause disruption, but I don't think these people feel like they've got any other option, and I kind of have some sympathy for that, because just talking to governments and powers that be gets very interesting platitudes and no action whatsoever, so I can understand why these people are taking this action. And it is starting to gain some traction, and it's starting to get some notice. Monday's news was zero in the news, in the main national news rather, about this, other than on Russia Today, if you're of that persuasion. But they wouldn't they? Arguably. It's a bit conspiracy theorist, but you know what I mean. Although Extinction Rebellion would tell you they're apolitical, so they're not allied to RT or anything like that. So, nevertheless, Russia Today is the sort of network that you would expect to cover these sorts of protests. Tuesday, a little bit in the local London news. I live in London, so I get the local London news, and there was a bit in that, largely to do with warning people like me who are commuters that there may be some disruption on the tubes and trains, and on the roads of course, which there most certainly was. And then Notre Dame had a bit of bother with its roof. Apparently there was a bit of fire damage on the roof, something like that. Anyway, that got into a lot of news, and that seemed to knock out any news about climate protesters in London, temporarily at least. And then here we are on Wednesday, and the difference being that the police by now have submitted, I think it's called Article 14 or Section 14, which is the legally binding thing. They can say that there's an unacceptable level of disruption to the city, and therefore they have now legal powers to go and remove people forcibly if need be from bridges and places of thoroughfares. I'm just going to walk around this bloke because he's filming as well. Don't want to get in his way. And that meant the police essentially said to Extinction Rebellion, we'll let you protest at Marble Arch, which by which I suspect they meant we'll let you protest in Hyde Park on the grass, out of the way of anybody, on your own, not making any fuss at all. That's not the point. So I don't suppose Extinction Rebellion were that well disposed to that idea. Nice view of the city, by the way, ironically. But as you'll have noticed, we've walked all the way down Waterloo Bridge while I've been talking, and yeah, it's like I said the other day, if we didn't have cars and buses, or at least if they were electrified, then it would be very pleasant. So clearly at this end of the bridge there's stuff going on. The bridge is obviously closed at this end, and so we'll see if we can find Mark Ward, the chap I spoke to the other week. He's from the southwest, and his group is charged with holding this bridge, although I suspect if they've cleared people from the other sites there may be more people coming down here where there's still some activity going on, so which would be good, so they can consolidate in one area, at least keep the protests going. So let's see. There may be police activity actually when we get there. They may be actually trying to actively take people away from here. This is the skate park that we passed the other day, and a young man doing exactly that. So enough from me, let's see what's going on. Yeah, so this is clearly a very peaceful group of people who are enjoying the afternoon sunshine. The police are here, and I've just spoken to Mark Ward, who we spoke to on Monday, and he's confirmed that the police have taken a fairly light touch. They've been going in and removing maybe 5 or 10 people at a time, and then backing away and allowing the thing to continue. So I suspect they're just doing it very carefully. They have got this Section 14 thing in place that they can do this with, but I think the idea that you'd go in heavy-handed on this group of really nice people would be a very strange thing to do. And apparently the same is the case at Oxford Circus. Mark's just been up there, and it's the same sort of really, really nice vibe and atmosphere. Weather does help, of course. It's very sunny and warm now. It's probably 20 degrees this afternoon. So it continues Wednesday afternoon. So it's Mark who we were talking to on Monday, and just caught up with Mark on Waterloo Bridge. There's still quite a lot of people here. So how's it been going?
It's been amazing. I mean, they've just done some more arrests. They've been arresting people over the last day or two in dribs and drabs, but every time they do, just more and more people come.
Yeah.
And it's a real sort of really positive vibe here, and nearly all the passers-by are just really on side, wanting to find out more. So fantastic. I think it's kind of going viral, really.
So as they're clearing off other areas, perhaps people are finding out which parts are still strong.
Yeah, and I think this is the one they're focusing on. But they've made some arrests at Oxford Circus. But there's a party. There's live bands at Oxford Circus. Apparently, Paloma Faith is playing there tonight.
Really?
So yeah.
Wow.
We've got the big names out. Chris Packham is there at the moment,
right,
so
okay.
We've got everyone on board. Yeah.
Excellent.
So
it's certainly getting more coverage on the news throughout the day as people are getting arrested, but it's clearly being demonstrated as a a peaceful process, and that's exactly what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold you on too much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Great to see you again.
A quick walk and a tube ride next, back across to Oxford Circus.
It doesn't look like the police have got any intention whatsoever of moving this demonstration, certainly not today. Chris Packham's been down and given a speech on this stage earlier on today apparently, and Paloma Faith is playing here tonight, so I'd be very surprised if these people are going to get arrested at least before tomorrow.
There will be more wildfires, unpredictable superstorms, increasing famine and untold drought, as food supplies and fresh water disappear. The ecological crises that are impacting upon this nation, and indeed this planet and its wildlife, can no longer be ignored, denied, nor go unanswered by any beings of sound rational thought, ethical conscience, moral concern, or spiritual belief.
Nothing stops a golf sale though. Life's got to go on, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So still blocking off Regent Street as well. Regent Street completely quiet and traffic free. People can still get down into shops, so I'm sure they'll still make oodles of money this week. They might not make the same amount of oodles of money that they made last year, and I'm sure their corporate balance sheets will go, 25% down. Because that's how it works, isn't it? So the idea is that this protest goes on for at least 2 weeks, or until the government stops and does something about it, or at least listens to what the Extinction Rebellion are demanding. Not this gig, this protest. So I will be back on Friday, Good Friday, to have a look at what's occurring then and see how they're getting on. But the police might move in tomorrow once this has quietened down, and maybe they'll start removing people from Oxford Circus as well. So far so good. The protests are holding up really well on Waterloo Bridge. Waterloo Bridge is completely blocked, as we saw earlier. Still a carnival atmosphere there. I'm quite sure up at the other end of Oxford Street in Hyde Park, and they're having a carnival atmosphere up there as well. And as you can perfectly well see for yourself, it's certainly all going off here. So we'll check in later.